I always wanted to be loved, and I was always looking for my father's acceptance, and I grew up thinking abuse was normal. That's all I'd seen.
The only time Tania Fielu's alcoholic father gave her attention was when he beat her. When she was 11, Canadian Social Services gave her mom a choice, her husband or her child.
And I remembered how much it hurt when I was in the courtroom and my mom chose my dad over me and let me go to foster care. And I felt so abandoned. I was put in 13 different foster homes in 1 year. And I was moving around faster than, I could unpack my suitcase.
She was a ward of the state through her teens and had a child at 17. In her 20s, she was pregnant again and got married.
I married somebody that was just like my father. Every day he was telling me, I was stupid, I was ugly, I wasn't good enough. I didn't feel like I was worthy of being loved by anyone.
She moved with her kids to a women's shelter to escape the violence, but her husband challenged her for custody. Tania needed $7,000 to retain a lawyer, so she looked for a job. An ad in the paper caught her eye.
And the ad said, earn the sum of up to $1,500 a day. Female-owned and operated, fun, friendly, safe work environment. I thought, wow, that seems almost too good to be true.
It was. The fun, friendly job was prostitution. Tania took the job.
I remember coming home that night after making my first $1,700. And I jumped in the shower and I just couldn't stop scrubbing my body enough. I just felt so dirty.
She prostituted herself for several years and went deeper into the sex industry. She eventually owned several brothels with hundreds of girls working for her. But her new lifestyle took a toll.
My spirit was broken. I just, on the outside, according to the world, I appeared to have it all. But inside, I had nothing. I had no heart left. And I didn't want to be living anymore. Every John that you're with, it chips away at your soul, and it takes a piece of your soul. And eventually you're the walking dead.
Meanwhile, the custody battle lasted 4 years. Word had gotten to the courts and media about Tania's line of work. Her chances of getting custody of her children were slim, and she knew it. Tania made a deal with God.
I was angry at God my whole life. If God was real, why would I have had this childhood? And my grandmother was on her deathbed. And she kept telling me, Tania, you got to give your life to God. And I'd say, God's a goof. I hate God. And she said, God never turned his back on you, Tania. You turned it on him. He'll always be there. So one night, I was on my knees and I was weeping. And I was like, God, I don't like you. I hate you right now. Like, why did this happen? But I keep hearing about you. And if you give me custody, then I'll believe you're real, because it'll be a miracle. And if you do, I'll give my life to you. I woke up the next day, I was reading the paper, and it said, porn industry mom wins sole custody. And I thought, wow, if they're giving it to porn stars, maybe I have a chance. And I read a little further. Tania Fielu got sole custody. And my heart just stopped, and I was like, I called my lawyer. I'm like, he said I didn't get a chance to get to the phone because I was in court, and God had given me sole custody.
Tania shut down her brothels and walked away from her life as a madam. She gave her life over to God and started going to church.
God's always there, extending his hand. We just don't take it. And I realize that now, looking back, that God was always there for me. It's me that turned my back on him. But when you turn to God, he's always there. And he can take all the hardships and he can turn it around for his glory.
Tania reaches out to some of the same people she worked with in the brothels with the hope she found in Jesus Christ.
When I'm working with these people, women that are being bought and sold every day and they have no hope, and then I see them led to Christ and now saved, there's no bigger joy than that. To know that God used me to help them get out of that. Now that the Lord has come into my life, I know I have a purpose and a calling. And I know that I'm worthy of being loved. And I know that there is a God, Jesus, that loves me more than I ever thought possible.